what would be more terrifying or more nefarious? If aliens landed on the White House lawn and then were coming out to talk to us, correct? Or an alien ship just hovered over the ocean for like 10 minutes and then shot up back into space?
The White House lawn. The White House lawn, because that means they know what's up. They know who's in charge, and that's where they're going.
You say that so confidently, it blows my mind. They landed. They landed. So you know we're somewhat good.
No, you know it's going down.
No, we're good.
Because why land? Why this blows up?
I remember the White House getting
That's
blown up
actually a good point.
Or would you rather than just show up, a huge spacecraft, to show up over just a body of water and like shoot a signal down for 20 minutes
and then leave?
And then just leave.
I would much rather them land on the lawn and just talk to us. It's going to happen.
Hold on, that wasn't part of it. You don't know they're going to talk to us. You said land on the White House lawn and then get out.
Adam Silver's an alien, the NBA commissioner. I think we can all agree on that. I think Adam Silver is going to be the guy that unzips the suit one day and he's like, all right, here we are. Nobody panic. We all love basketball and stuff, so that's a good kind of come together. We're not here to kill y'all. That's all I need to hear. I need to hear we're not here to blow y'all up. I hope it's not like Tomorrow World or Independence Day. Just let him be cool. Just please let him be cool.
Not even that new. Don't be like the new movie with Chris Pratt. Whatever movie.
Tomorrow War.
Tomorrow War. Is that good? Is that a good one?
I just hope it's not like that. I just hope
don't
it's
be
not
like that.
that.
Please don't be like that.
Just please don't be like that. Brian Kelly says he left Notre Dame for LSU because he wants to beat Nick Saban. Lamar Jackson's absence from Ravens OTAs. And I read an intervention letter to Luka Doncic. I'm Jake Crane, and it's Flaming Dragon Friday. So you better hide the kids and wives. Let's get it going. They say if you get sent to prison, it's a good practice to punch the biggest guy on day one to set the tone you aren't to be messed with. Now, I've never been to prison, but I would advise you not to do that if you go. I got somewhat similar vibes when new LSU head football coach Brian Kelly recently told the Varsity House podcast he wants to, quote, beat Nick Saban. I want to play him in the regular season, Brian Kelly said. And to be totally honest, I feel like he kind of swagger jacked Jimbo a little bit from last year before the season. And look, we all know Brian Kelly came to the SEC because he wants to compete against the best in all aspects on and off the field. He wants the smoke. I respect it. And some guys can't lay their head down at night on the pillow without knowing what could have been. And that's great. That's what you should want. But calling out Nick Saban before you're even a year deep in the SEC is a big mistake, mainly because it's totally unnecessary. I'm the most confident guy around, like I'm sure most of y'all are. But I also realize there are levels to this thing. You can't give Saban any inch or be able to give him any extra motivation to add to a series that's become a national factor and really must-watch games between Alabama and LSU. I think the Brian Kelly hire was a great move, and they've done work in the portal. But LSU, from a roster standpoint, is still not where Alabama currently sits. So I'll say this. If you are going to punch the biggest guy day one in prison, or call out the best coach to ever do it in a league that you're a freshman in as a coach, don't be surprised if they hit back twice as hard. Go ahead and bring in David Cohn, Blaine Crane here.
It's Flaming Dragon.
I wanted to get it out of the way.
That's twice already. That's twice already. Come on, guys.
It doesn't start until I say it's Flaming Dragon Friday. You continue to not follow the rules. You continue to do your own thing. You're the Antonio Brown of this show, and I'm sick of it.
You just made that rule up.
I did not.
Would it make you feel better? Would it make you feel better if I hit the button?
First of all, that will always make me feel better.
Hit the button. Hit the button.
This is Flaming Dragon.
It's Flaming Dragon Fridays. If you don't know this, my brother invented it because
I did not invent this.
He wants to be called Flaming Dragon on Friday. Actually, a fan invented it.
Thank you.
And then you assumed the name of Flaming Dragon. But
it's like they gave me the crown of being Flaming Dragon.
So you got crowned Flaming Dragon.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I think you've been flaming your whole life, but that's another story.
Wow.
Wow. Speaking of Flaming Dragon, Brian Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
I love the confidence. Didn't like the accent. Love the confidence. I love the hire at LSU. I think he's going to do well. But Blaine, you have one word for this whole situation that I think sums it up. It starts with a W.
Why?
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 Why do this?
I love this.
Why do
I
this? You're the
love
why
this.
do-
I have never been a Brian Kelly fan, but I think I may start today just
That's
for
all
this.
it took?
When he
That's
left
all it
Notre
took.
Dame, this is all it took. When he left Notre Dame and went to LSU, what did we say? We used a phrase on this show. We said, wow, he wants the smoke. And for some of our older audience members, wanting the smoke means you're not afraid to go at the best. Not only did he do that, but now he's saying, I want to beat Nick Saban. I don't think this is him taking a shot at Nick Saban. Taking a shot at Nick Saban would sound like, I'm going to beat Nick Saban. That's a little bit different. He said, I want to beat Nick Saban. And this isn't just some guy who was at a smaller school who took the LSU job. We're talking about the winningest coach in Notre Dame history. Left that to go to LSU. And think about it. Brian Kelly hasn't won a national championship.
Nope.
He didn't start by saying, I came down here because I want to win a national championship. He said, I want to beat Nick Saban.
How do you think you
if
win a
you're
national
Nick Saban,
championship?
you have to love this. This has to be a badge of honor. A guy who's the winningest head coach in Notre Dame history came down to the SEC, left all that to come to the SEC, not even to win a national championship. He just wants to beat you. I love it.
Well, first of all, if you're going to win a national championship, you got to go through Bama.
For sure.
I don't know, last 10 years, I think.
As long as Nick's
always
there, you're
gone
going to have to go
Alabama.
through Bama.
But this is nothing new for Nick Saban. This is nothing new. At what point, from fans to coaches, can we figure out that when you say we want Bama, it never ends up how you think it's going to end up? I love the confidence, but this is so unnecessary. They are going to drag you this year. Maybe next year, I would have said it when Bryce is gone and they don't have the best player on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, but they're going to drag you this year. He drug you at Notre Dame by 28, all right? That roster probably when at Notre Dame might be a little bit better than the roster they have right now at LSU. That roster at LSU still needs some work. But this isn't going to, this is the type of thing. If you rattle this dog's cage, this dog will bite, man. I'm an Auburn fan. I see it every year. You don't want this type of smoke.
Look, it's like the drum set on Step Brothers. You just don't touch it. I know you want to beat Nick Saban. I want to win the lottery. I like ice cream and good movies. Like, this is obvious stuff. We know. We don't need you to tell us that you want to beat Nick Saban.
I need it. I need to know. I need to know that you went down there to do this. Now, I don't want to be on record in this chair as saying they're not going to get drugged. You're going to get drugged. You're going to get drugged now.
You got to pick a better year to do this.
You and Jimbo back to back, except I think LSU at least has Alabama at home. I don't want to be on record saying they're not going to
pull up LSU schedule.
Pull
up LSU schedule.
I just want to say
and I want to hear what the Booster Club has to say about this as well. But pull up the schedule. Let's just go through it year one for Brian Kelly. Let's play a game. Let's play a game called Let's Get in the Jeep and go run around Jurassic Park a little bit. Cone, what I'm saying is, again, this doesn't help you at all.
Oh,
and
I'm
the
not
stuff
saying
with
it's a
Jimbo,
smart move.
Nick is already pissed.
I'm not saying it's a
Nick's
smart
already
move.
pissed.
I'm not saying he should have done it. I'm not saying they're going to win the ball game. I'm saying I love it.
But why?
I love it. Okay?
Why? Like, why? I just don't
Because he
understand.
could go up
Why
there and
do
stand
this?
at the podium and, we're just hoping to have a good season and maybe we can.
Well, why don't
Yes,
hey, how about
do
this?
that.
How about you take
No,
that?
I want to
How
beat
about you
Nick
have every
Saban.
game be equal? Every game should be equal. It shouldn't just be about Bama. Every game, if you're a real head coach, every game should matter, whether that's Vandy, East Carolina, Georgia, or Alabama. And you want to know how it's not real to say we want Bama? I don't see a lot of Georgia fans out there screaming, we want Bama, because they've seen it, they know what it's like, and they respect it. It's a mountain that you got to climb, and some mountains you can't talk your way out and over. You have to work to get past this, and that roster ain't ready.
Do you think Brian Kelly thinks just because I've come to LSU, now I'm going to beat Nick Saban?
Yes, it doesn't.
Yes.
Just because I've come
Yes,
to,
I think
it's not that easy. It's not that easy.
All right, y'all ready for the schedule?
Yeah, but he should think that way, though. I want my head coach to think we can beat anybody and coach like that. But don't go say it on the podium.
All right, first week one. They got FSU.
Neutral side, I
Where's that?
believe.
Neutral
Give me
side?
FSU.
So it's going to be a neutral side, I believe.
Yep, give me LSU.
Win.
All right, then they have like Southern University.
Win.
All right, then they got Mississippi State at home.
Win.
New Mexico at home.
Win.
Auburn on the road.
Loss.
Tennessee at home.
Win.
I have that as
Really
a loss.
loss.
I have a loss.
At Florida. Win.
That's going to be a good one.
I'll give him a win on that one.
Ole Miss at home.
I'm going to say
I
loss.
think they lose. I think
All
they
right.
lose to Ole Miss.
You got Bama at home.
Loss.
Loss.
You go to Arkansas.
Loss.
Yeah.
You got UAB at home.
Win.
You go to A&M. This is what I'm saying. Why?
6.
Why?
I have
Why
6.
make it harder than it's going to already be?
It's not just, and I think you made a good point. It's not just, the SEC is, and people will argue this till they're blue in the face, but they don't understand it. It's not just Nick Saban and Alabama in the SEC. That's not the hardest part of the SEC. Is it hard to beat Alabama? Yes, it's unbelievably hard. But the hardest part about playing in the SEC isn't just about playing Alabama. It's everything else really outside of Vanderbilt that you have to go through. There's 2 off weeks, the bye week and Vandy right now. And everybody else is kind of coming up. Auburn's a little bit down. We'll see how they do. South Carolina's coming up. Tennessee's coming up. Arkansas's coming up. Kentucky's coming up. Mississippi State returns a lot of guys, including Jolly Will Rogers back there at quarterback.
Will's nice with it.
Who's maybe the most underrated quarterback outside of Jake Haener at Fresno State in the country, who Jake almost ended up at Washington, who will lose to Kent State, David Cohn. I'm 100% with you on that.
You think so?
Starting to hear a little more of that in the national mind frame.
To Washington a couple of years ago.
They did. So shout out Montana. But it's having to play the Arkansas. It's having to go to the Mississippi States. That is what makes the SEC, not just the top. And that's where people from outside the conference, I think, get a little confused. And yes, has Alabama been the best team in the SEC? Yes, but the conference has to have a best team. You have to have a best team. Every year you have to have a best team. You may have 2 teams that are close, but no team is created equal. That's why, again, if anybody ever tries to argue with you about the SEC and not being dominant, it's just Alabama and it's just Georgia, number one, they don't understand, but a great testimonial will be after a couple years, you ask Brian Kelly, who's at LSU, you ask Brian Harsin, who's at Auburn. How about we ask Oklahoma and Texas after they're in there for a few years, and then we'll see. What's the Booster Club say, Blaine? Both branches.
Okay, we got one right here. Let's go.
Right, Cha?
Right. All right. Canyon Broad says weird to say treat every game equal when I feel like an Auburn fan doesn't actually believe that, especially when it comes to Bama.
Okay, you're talking about fans. We are not saying fans. Fans are not going to treat every game equal. They never have, and they never will. You put Mercer on Auburn's schedule, nobody looks twice at it. You put where Bama is on Auburn's schedule, you're going to know whether it's home or away. We're not talking about fans. It's coaches and players. If and it's really not even the coaches. The coaches can look ahead, but they can't get the players to look ahead. What is the process built on that Saban's built, which is a blueprint that he got from Belichick, got it from Parcells, that he's given to Mario Cristobal, that he's given to Lane Kiffin, that he's given to Jimbo Fisher, all these guys. It's a faceless opponent. It is a nameless opponent. The most important opponent you play every week is yourself. The goal is to win the game, but the goal is to also play better regardless of opponent, whether that's being cleaner on penalties, whether it's getting the motions right, making sure you're lined up right, every week as you go on, regardless of who you're playing. That's the trick. It's not the fans. What the fans think, outside of if they're showing up to the game or not, paying that ticket, buying those hot dogs, does not matter inside that building. So we have to separate the two. It's a good question.
All right, Barefoot Cowboy says Arkansas might win 5 games.
What?
Pull up the
schedule.
Pull up the schedule.
A lot of Arkansas hating this.
Pull up the schedule.
A lot of Arkansas.
I'm guessing you're an A&M fan.
No, a lot. Multiple people.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you think Arkansas is only going to win 5 games or less, you can wish that in one hand and take a piss in the other and see which one fills up faster.
Okay, week 1. All right, week 1. They got Cincinnati as probably at a neutral site.
I believe it's at home. I think they're going to beat them.
Cincinnati, they're going to win that one.
Okay, then they got South Carolina at home.
Win.
Montana State at home.
Win.
There's 3.
They go to A&M.
Loss.
They got Bama at home.
Loss.
They go to Mississippi State.
I think they go win that one.
Win.
They go to BYU.
Win.
They go to Auburn.
It's probably a win.
They got Liberty at home.
Win.
LSU at home.
Win.
Ole Miss at home.
Win.
At Missouri.
Win.
So Ole Miss.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, I said it a couple weeks ago. And
yes.
Even if they don't beat Ole Miss, that would still be what?
9?
8 or 9.
I've got Arkansas going 10-2.
Okay.
I will not tell you any more about where you can guess who I got winning the East and the West. You don't have to be, Inspector Perot from an Agatha Christie book to figure that one out. But I will say I got Arkansas finishing 10-2 and finishing second in the West. I do. All right, Blaine, YouTube branch.
Colleen Houston says, I think LSU will have some growing pains this season.
They will. That's part of it. Anybody that's And LSU fans, just like most teams in the SEC, have very, very high expectations. And that's great. You should.
Right.
The roster is what it is.
Ride high says Cohn's right. I think he's setting the bar high. He's not backing away from the challenge. Not afraid. Will he beat Bama? Probably not, but he is not afraid. What challenge?
It's what the challenge is there. Like what invisible challenge is this?
This is just unnecessary.
I'll tell you what. I would be completely on y'all's side if he came out and said, "I came here to beat Nick Saban, and I'm going to beat him." That extra sentence would mean a lot. Okay, he said, "I want to beat Nick Saban." Who does it? That was his quote. I want to beat Nick Saban. Who does it? I like it. Come out and say it.
Again, you're adding something that doesn't need to be added. The LSU-Bama rivalry is already really hot. Hell, the Brian Kelly versus Nick Saban rivalry is already hot because Saban has shoved his head in the toilet and given him a swirly every time they've met in the playoffs. Brian Kelly sat in that tunnel. I got a feeling I know what this is. Jimbo Fisher's been in the press a lot. A&M's been in the press a lot. For what reason? What did Jimbo do before last season? He told a bunch of donors that we are going to beat Alabama and Nick Saban while I am here, which is different than what Brian Kelly said. I will give you that. But it is in the same vein when you are calling somebody out personally. And it's not saying we are going to beat Nick Saban, but I came here for one reason. I came here to get one guy. You tell me you're coming at me? It's war, buddy. We can play that game. It's unnecessary. The players are already going to be emotional for the game. It's going to be at home, and you better hope that Jaden Daniels is what you think he is because Miles Brennan isn't beating Alabama. And people say, okay, Zach Calzada beat Alabama, but that's one of the 12 luckiest things I've ever seen in my life. And I almost got hit by a train when I was 10.
Look, there's no running from this.
No, you said it.
Once third quarter comes along, there's probably 6 minutes left. There ain't no running from it.
Yeah, you said it.
You're locked on that field, so let's hope you really mean it, buddy.
I mean, if he already left Notre Dame to come to LSU, then said this in the press, I don't think he's going to be running either way.
He's not running. That's what I'm saying, Cone. We gave him credit for not running. We made fun of Lincoln Riley a little bit, even though financially wasn't a bad decision, for ducking LSU to go to the Pac-12 and USC. Brian Kelly ran toward the smoke. Brian Kelly wanted that's what it should be. Everybody knows that. You don't have to tell me obvious stuff. You don't have to tell me to check each way before I cross the road or to wash my hands after I go to the bathroom or don't shake the baby. I know obvious things.
But your mom still does tell you those things. Why? Just to make sure.
Yeah, but that's mama. LSU ain't mama for Brian Kelly. But speaking about it, let's move on to a little rapid fire. I can talk about this all day.
All right.
I will.
Let's go to the NFL and Lamar Jackson, not present at OTAs. Now, he's not the only quarterback in the NFL who's not present at OTAs, but this one is peculiar because the Ravens want to sign him. He's saying he wants to be a Raven, but he will not engage with the team for a long-term contract. What is going on here? He says he wants to be a Super Bowl champion, but he's not at practice. I think he needs to be at practice. What say y'all?
Go ahead, Blaine. You take this first.
On
this.
I mean, he's just negotiating, I'm guessing. You got to come. The money's got to be right. For a former MVP and Lamar Jackson, the money's got to be right. He's a franchise guy.
Show up to practice, though?
First of all, these are voluntary.
Exactly.
Okay, these are voluntary, all right? And the NFL is a what?
Business.
It is a business. That's what the NFL is. This isn't high school. This isn't college. This is a business. And when it's stuff that comes down like this is what I do. I go look at his teammates. The guys on the team who have big voices on the team. Marlon Humphreys, the only thing he did, he understands the situation, but credited Lamar Jackson, one, about the way he works out, the way he's working outside at the field house. He knows he's putting in the work. Mark Andrews at tight end just raves about Lamar Jackson, that he's committed and knows he's putting in the work right now, even not at OTAs. Lamar Jackson, to me, is a type of guy who, one, does want to be on the Ravens. Two, it's not just going to bail on you to bail on you. Money matters when it comes to these are guys' lives. Not every guy's Tom Brady, right? Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson, and he has every right to sit out to make sure he gets paid what he deserves, and I'm okay with it. Now, if these were mandatory, if you were supposed to be, if you have to be there, yeah, these are voluntary. A lot of people miss this. A lot of stars miss this. And right now, it's just a money management thing. But I don't question Lamar Jackson's work ethic. I don't question Lamar Jackson from a competitive standpoint. I've seen him play. I watched him play in college and how he acts. I like Lamar Jackson a lot, and I think this is fine.
Here's what I'll say. I think sometimes as fans of the NFL and people that watch the NFL, we get emotional the way we think some of the players in that locker room should get emotional. These players are all in the same business. They know exactly what's going on. In a perfect world, Cone, yes, you want him to be there. He's the quarterback. He's voluntary. But he's already proven that he's a loyal teammate and he's loyal to that organization. This is a smart business move. This is not a decision he's making by himself. He has smart people telling him, listen, you got to put yourself and your family in the best position. Because as much as you love your teammates, as much as you call them family, it's a lot different type family than that little girl you got, that little boy you got, or that wife you got at home, or that mom you got to take care of, or that grandmother you got to take care of, or their kids' kids, your kids' kids' kids. You only get this opportunity a couple times if you're a guy like Lamar Jackson, even as talented as you are, to really squeeze all the juice out of the lemon because you have the leverage. I think he would be stupid not to be doing it, and I think every player in that locker room, there is no nefarious thoughts or thinking that Lamar Jackson isn't a team guy. He's getting his money. He's going to get paid. The Ravens are not letting him go, and Lamar doesn't want to lead the Ravens, but it is a smart business decision, and I applaud him for it.
Well, if you want to miss practice by saying this is a business decision, I don't want to hear anything from him later talking about my number one most important goal is to win a Super Bowl. And I also don't want to hear anything about I have to miss practice. I have to miss practice because that's the only way to squeeze the team and leverage the most money out of them. No, your agent's doing that. Tell your agent to go get you the most money possible from any team, whether it's the one you're currently on or any other one. In the meantime, I'm still getting paid. Let's not act like he's not getting paid money. He's still getting paid a lot of money, and this is the team you're currently on. And most importantly, you're the quarterback. You're not a running back. You're not a DB. You're not a wide receiver. I'll say the same thing to him that I said to Ryan Tannehill, and I'll say the same thing to Lamar Jackson that I'll say to Aaron Rodgers right now, who's also not at OTAs, and I don't care that he's actually won a Super Bowl. Both of you show up to practice because you're the quarterback of the team. Be the first one in the building. Be the last one out of the building. And tell your agent.
Hold on. So let me ask you this. So if the difference in you going to OTAs and you not going to OTAs was an extra 20 to 25 million you could get out of the organization, you wouldn't do it?
That premise does not hold water with me that he could get an extra 25 million by holding out of practice.
An extra 2 million.
No, I don't think he could get any more money by.
You don't think that this is going to work to be able to get him more money?
No, I think the team is going to analyze what you're saying. Actually, I think it hurts somebody. Why would you pay him any extra money for a guy who?
Because you know he's serious.
Well, first of all, let's get to. You need to get paid what you deserve.
Yeah,
football's not forever. All right, you're not going to be playing football for the rest of your life. You need to get you need to get paid what you deserve.
Lamar Jackson
deserves to get paid. And second of all, these aren't mandatory practices.
Again, I will say what I just said. I'll just say what I just said. You play quarterback in the National Football League. Be the first one in, and you're on record as saying what's most important.
Doesn't matter.
What's most important to you.
It's a business.
It's
a business, David. Get paid.
Then win your ass. Then win your ass. What's most important to you.
You can get tragically
your ass. What's most important? Say making money.
You don't do that unless you
making money.
Don't
say
one at a time.
I don't care if you're a DN, receiver, quarterback, or none of that.
No.
There's
a difference.
You deserve what you deserve to get
and the guys who play quarterback know there's a difference.
He could have a season-ending injury at OTAs. A season-ending injury. And then what? Then you're not getting paid. Get paid what you deserve to get paid, bro. It don't matter what. If you're the quarterback safety, no one man's more important than the other, and that's football. Get paid what you deserve to get paid. Because you will not be able to do this forever.
Understand.
Well, let me ask you this. Cone, let me
get your money.
Let me ask you this, and then we'll move on to this. I believe when you go to the NFL, you have that chance. It's a great opportunity. Not many people in the world or in their life ever get that opportunity. It is now your career. When you're going to school, you want it to be your career, but when you're not in that league, it is not your career yet. When you decide to make it your career, I think we got to take a little bit of the love for the game, kind of the high school purity that's in the game, a little bit out of it, because you've decided that is a business. That's why I think, guys,
when you're asked what's most important to you, say making money from my career. Don't say winning a Super Bowl because it does not mesh.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Hold on, stop. Let me ask you this. You want us to have the number one sports show in the world, right?
Yes.
The best sports show in the world. Mm-hmm. Is this more important than your son?
No.
No! That's what Lamar's saying.
That was the most illogical thing that I've ever heard in my life. I want to have the number one sports show, but is it more important than my son?
Because you're saying Lamar, you're saying that Lamar, you are saying that it's more important that Lamar's number one thing he wants to do in his life is win a Super Bowl. No, the number one thing he wants to do in his life is make as much money as he can so his family and his kids and their kids and their kids, when you come out of a socioeconomic background like you did Lamar Jackson, will never have to worry about a thing. Super Bowls are great. That green paper is going to last forever. I guarantee if you ask Lamar, if 5 generations down, all the kids underneath him could get a scholarship to go to college or him to win a Super Bowl, I think Lamar's the type dude where he says, you know what? Give him the money to go to college. I'll win the damn Super Bowl on my own.
I hate how you guys frame this as he's
It's a business.
Any money this year. Like he has to play this year for free and next year.
No, but nobody's saying that, but it's a smart business move.
But he deserves what he deserved to get
The
paid,
team
man.
is trying to sign him. He
Okay,
won't
well,
engage
at
in
the right
contract
price,
talks.
then you will sign Lamar Jackson at the right price. This is a business. It is a business.
I forgot it was a business.
You're questioning his character.
I forgot it was a business.
You're questioning.
No, I'm not.
Questioning his character.
I'm not questioning his character. Show up to
That's
practice.
what you're doing. You're questioning
Go to
Lamar
practice.
Jackson's character.
Go to practice.
That's what you're
Be
doing.
the best one there.
I believe Lamar Jackson's competitive as anybody. Loves the Ravens. He's a leader and he's a great quarterback.
I will say this. I'll ask you this question, though. What percentage would you have given Lamar Jackson coming out of college to the NFL that we'd even be having this conversation?
Not a good one, and he's overperformed in that category.
Well,
sure.
I was in the camp where I had to see it in the NFL. I wasn't in the he should just be a wide receiver camp. But that dude, to me, honestly, has overperformed at that position from the expectation, maybe more than any other quarterback in the league not named Tom Brady, because he got drafted. You could legitimately make that argument. But
that I'll agree with.
What does the Booster Club say?
That this needs to be a head-to-head segment.
Oh.
This could.
That what? He should go to practice?
No, just in general.
Oh.
Should you hold out?
I'll do that.
That's actually a great
I'll do that all day.
We do have a head-to-head for Memorial Day on Monday, but it's not that. We'll get to that at the end. What else, Blaine?
Angelo G says you can live your entire life on his rookie contract. Stop acting like he can't.
Nobody's saying that's not the point. If I make $20 million a year and you offered me $20 more million a year to make 40,
I'm not Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
I'm not winning NFL MVPs. I'm not a top 7 quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, there's a lot more of us than there are of Lamar Jacksons. There's a reason he's making that money. But I honestly think it's a philosophical thing. Like when you get down to it, I think it's philosophical. And I think the quarterback position muddies the water a little bit on it, because that is a little bit different than if your nickel sits out, is holding out. That's a little bit different. Not that nickels aren't important. I'm a DB's guy. Y'all know me.
All right, Samson 7 Smiles says he's still not worth a max contract. I can't help you, dog.
Well, I can't help your
then.
opinion. What's the YouTube brand say? By the way, I want 1,000 comments, or I'm going to drown replacement cone after the show.
Man, he's getting.
No, it's y'all's fault. It's their fault. Y'all are doing it. Y'all are the one. Y'all want violence? I'm going to give it to you. He's over there. I'll bring him over here at the end of the show. He's over there just nervous as hell. What if we got his face to change? Like, you know what? I've got an idea.
Roger
I've got an idea. I've got an idea. I don't want to say it. I got an idea. What's the YouTube?
Riot Hyde says replacement cone would never yell, but with his high usage of complicated wording, it feels like he's always yelling.
He is. Well, and like I say, if you use words I don't understand, I'm going to take him as disrespect.
He's more reserved than we are.
That's exactly right.
Replacement cone is?
Yeah.
What else?
Nate Dogg says, I think athletes need to stop crying about money. Okay.
Yeah, to me, it's less about the money. Like, I understand you have this one opportunity. Football, what does NFL stand for? Not for long, right?
Yep.
To me, it's not a situation where he can't go to practice. It's not, he can't go to practice and be paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that show up to practice, be the first one there, let your agent take care of this. He's going to go get you the most amount of money possible. And to me, it makes a team want you even more.
Yeah, I don't think your argument's illogical. I'm just on the other side of it. Mm-hmm. Like it's a logical argument. And that play has worked. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember last time I remember Drew Brees sitting out at OTAs or anything like that. He might have. In the back of mine, I can't remember. I know Tebow never sat out OTAs.
Papa Link 90 says, are you taking Lamar or Kyler Murray to start your franchise?
Oh, man, that's a good question.
I would take Lamar Jackson at this point.
Don't you almost have to? Is the sample size? I know Lamar's not that much older than Kyler. I know there's not a big difference, but I just feel like Lamar's proven more in like clutch moments than Kyler has.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think he's been with a better franchise, too.
But see, Kyler's a better...
The Ravens are a little bit further along.
Well, the question you got to ask is Kyler that much better of a thrower than Lamar? Or is Lamar that much better of a runner than Kyler? Like, where... To me, I'd almost err on the side of I need you to throw better for us to actually do it.
You know, what's interesting with those two, when you talk about who's a better runner, you made a great point the other day that what is so great about Kyler Murray's running is he doesn't get squared up.
Yeah.
That's such a big thing. Like Cam Newton was a great runner, but everyone was hit. I mean, he's so
and
big.
he would lower
his
his.
Squared up a lot. Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray, those guys don't get squared up at the last second. They remind me of Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, I like
There was a lot of guys who could have knocked Floyd out if they caught him. No one could get a shot on him, you know?
It's almost like watching Devin Hester when he used to return punts.
Him too.
It used to blow my mind how, and Devin wasn't super little at all.
Yeah.
But watching Devin, like guys would have angles on him to not only hit him, but to clean him. And he would make one little move, it was just amazing. It was slippery, just absolutely slippery. If you watch Kyler, like when he slides too, he goes 8 yards. Like it's just, he's hard to like pin down.
Ewok.
Yeah.
Yes, the only thing that hurts Kyler realistically is his size.
Yeah, but again,
that was only really his knock coming out of college.
Look, part of not being that big is not being squared up.
Sure.
So it's pros and cons.
I agree with that. And he's proven he can throw from the pocket over the line.
Yeah.
We've seen guys like Drew Brees. I know Kyler's little. Like Kyler's little.
He's tiny.
Realize like Drew Brees is small. Kyler Murray is little.
Yeah, he's tiny. All right, we got a question here from Matthew Robert. I got a quick question. I haven't watched a ton of NCAA football, but hearing you guys talk about it, it gets better and gets me excited. Question is simple: which one's better, the NFL or the NCAA? I know the answer.
Well, again, understand where we're from.
Be honest.
Where we're from. I'm from Auburn, Alabama. He's from Auburn, Alabama. Statesboro, Georgia. Not Ann Arbor, Michigan. Believe it or not.
No.
I think a lot of people think you're
Everyone
from
thinks I'm from Michigan.
I know, but that's how well you wear it. That's how well you wear it, and that me and you don't. All three of us really don't have that bad accents, Southern accents. I don't think. I think we're pretty straight up. It's college because it's a more local feel. That's why everybody's pissed off about NIL. Honestly, that's why, because they're afraid it's going to start being more like the NFL, where you have Lamar Jackson situations like that, where you have Aaron Rodgers situations, where it's turned into free agency with the transfer portal, regardless if you're in the same division in the SEC or if you want to go from Alabama to Utah, it doesn't matter. That little bit of the local feel and somewhat of the amateur feel and where I grew up leads me to walk down the path of college football. But I love the NFL. I love football. That's what I love. I love that we have it on Saturday and Sunday back to back. And then Tuesday, Maction, I'm all for Maction. Take the over.
Nothing can compete with college football except maybe high school football and then NFL's third.
Dude, there's nothing like a good high school game.
Y'all always
because it's at night.
Y'all always go back to
nothing
that.
like a good high school game, man. It really is.
Tim McGraw and Mike Winchell over there.
Is that a Friday Night Light?
That is. If you want to watch or listen to the rest of the show, even though you can listen over here on YouTube, but if you want to watch it, head over to thedailywire.com and become a member. Sub over there. It's great stuff, guys. It's great content. Ton of sports stuff over there with us as well. Or listen on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe. Leave us a good review. Make it 5 stars and share it with your friends. We've got another great second half. Stick around. We're going to hit the Booster Club super hard. It's time for a little rapid fire before we get back to the Booster Club, and then I read my intervention letter to Luka. Hit the pew button.
Love it.
I knew that was coming.
We have a lot to cover. Let's start on the ice. Connor McDavid hits the game-winning shot in overtime to advance the Oilers past the Flames, and we have this clip if you want it.
Let's go ahead. Let's run the clip.
Great.
McDavid, absolute hocus pocus witch. I do want to say this, too, before we run the clip real quick, Tony. I want to give a shout-out to some of the Booster Club members that really were gassing up the Oilers. I've talked about, I thought they were the second best team in hockey. I said that yesterday. But going on the road with a chance to eliminate the Flames at home, it looks like you're walking in the 7th layer of hell with all that red and fire. Let's go ahead and roll the clip. Connor McDavid, a.k.a. the Frozen Witch. They're going to work on the wing here. And it's just, look
at him.
Little flip, little slap. Really felt like that was a bad play by the goalie.
Man.
But Connor McDavid, still though, great goal by Connor McDavid, as we're seeing the replay here. Got it over against the wall. Going to kick it to the middle. Little find and fly. Find it and let it fly.
Talent, man.
He's unreal, but I will
talent.
still say that goal that McKinnon scored for the Avs the other game to give them the lead before they blew it again to send it overtime against the Blues is the best hockey goal since I've really been paying attention that I've ever seen. He literally got the puck, took it from one end of the ice to the other, made guys miss, and then scored a hell of a goal. It was like watching somebody Speaking of Devin Hester, return a punt when half the punt team doesn't block. Because, guys, that's a real thing. We'll go win the water cooler here. When you're setting up punt returns, sometimes you have half blocks and half holdups where one side will rush, the other side will block, and you get some free guys down the field, but it tends to get the ball out a little bit quicker because you're showing pressure. They think you're pressuring. Then you show one side of pressure. And it's like you just made 6 guys miss and scored. It was an unbelievable play. But the Oilers, again, sneaky good, sneaky complete. I think they're the second best team in hockey. I'll say it.
Oilers?
Oiler alert.
So you think they make it out of the West?
I think they make it out.
The Oilers have the best, I would say, attacking out of all.
After I watched the Avs do what they did the other night.
They have the best with McDavid and Kane. I can't remember. They have the best attackers. McDavid's the best hockey player right now. I don't know anybody who's better than him realistically. And I go back to the Lightning. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it'd be Lightning Oilers. I mean, I really don't trust the Avalanche that much, especially the finish games. But I go back on the Flames. The Flames scored a goal. I think like 3 minutes left to go in the third. And I need to see the replay, but I heard it's crap. They go up 5-4 and end up losing.
And you had the Flames.
I had them money line and red.
You did have the Flames.
Wait till I tell you how.
So do you think Connor McDavid's going to win the Hart Trophy over Austin Matthews or Shesterkin?
I think he will.
You think so?
I think he will. Even though I told you I wanted the goalie to win. That's just me. I'm a defensive guy. Give it to Igor.
I think any 3 of those guys
would be. He wouldn't. It's like the MVP race this year in basketball.
Yeah.
I don't think you could have gone wrong with Jokic
or Embiid. Yeah, okay. All right, let's move on. Speaking about the NBA, Zion Williamson has been cleared to return to basketball. Returning to NOLA, that remains to be seen.
I'm starting to believe now it's going to be okay in New Orleans. Everybody's going to be friends. But I still have a very hard time trusting giving Zion a super max deal. What has he shown you? Outside of very few flashes for a very short amount of time, he can't stay healthy. We always talk about Kyrie not being healthy, even though that was the mask mandate this year. I know he's a really good basketball player and a tremendous talent. Do you trust him enough to, number one, want to be there? Because deep down, I know he wants to go to the Knicks. I'd be willing to bet he wants to go to the Knicks. And the first sign of trouble for the Pels, do all of a sudden do you get these problems again, like we heard, when he's kind of away from the team and this, that, and the other. I just don't know if I trust Zion Williamson enough to give him a supermax. I just don't.
It's not a good fit to me.
I thought you were in the camp of wanting him to go back to New Orleans and saying that they should sign him to a supermax.
No, I'm saying I think Zion is a supermax player. Okay. I do, but I just don't like the fit.
If you're New Orleans, go get as much as you can.
Yeah, I just don't like the fit Zion at New Orleans.
I like the core that they had without him.
Be there, man. I really deep down, I don't know if he wants to be there. I think he might want to be in a bigger market.
Like I said, he wants to play for the Knicks.
But the Pelicans, look how far you got this year.
I know.
With what you had. Thinking about what you could get. What you could get for Zion.
Mm-hmm.
Someone would give you the entire house, the guest house. You could gut someone's roster for good above average players that can make you runs in the playoffs. Like if the Pelicans, this is a huge move for the Pelicans because if you're a fan, don't get super attached. Zion Williams is a great player. He's a max player, but he still has some room to grow. His ceiling's super high.
I haven't seen him play enough to know if he can play a full year and be effective.
I agree with that.
And that's a lot of money to give somebody. I don't want to put a bunch of money into a car that I can't drive it one lap around the track.
I agree, man.
Even if it goes fast for half and stops.
I completely understand the injury thing, but he is a max player.
If he lives up to the hype and is able to play, then I agree with you. But again, I'm going to believe what I see, not what you tell me or what you want me to believe. I'm going to believe what I see. And to earn that supermax, I don't think you've done enough. But the Pelicans are going to pay him because he is still, even without playing in the playoffs, even without playing on this run, the face of that franchise isn't C.J. McCollum. It isn't Brandon Ingram. It's Zion Williamson, and they're going to ride with it.
Well, he's now cleared, so we're going to see. All right, let's move on to Major League Baseball. The Reds had their highest scoring day in 23 years. They beat the Cubs. I know it's the Cubs, but they beat the Cubs 20-5. What does Cincinnati have to do to really get in a groove here?
Well, you need to go to Egypt. You need to start digging around in crypts and see if you can find some old ancient technology or remedies for what's going on. You scored 21 runs, great. It's still been a really, really bad year. You guys threw a no-hitter and lost. So, again, cool. Congrats. Beat the hell out of the Cubs. I guarantee you'd want to trade places with the Cubs from where your team is right now. So that's how I feel about it.
All right. F1, one of the biggest Grand Prix of the year tomorrow. In Monaco.
Monaco.
Now, you want to go?
Let's go.
Let's get the plane.
Let's get on the plane.
After this. We'll just get on the plane.
We'll leave right after this?
Yeah, just tell them to pull the plane out back.
Charles Leclerc has never finished a race in Monaco. Okay? But what I want to know is he sits 6 points back of Max Verstappen. Will he finish his first race in Monte Carlo, boys, this weekend?
Yes.
Yes.
He'll finish?
Yes. And
He won?
Yes.
He's going to win it?
Okay.
Win it.
I'm going to say he's going to finish, but I'll say this. It's Formula One, right? Leclerc's obviously racing.
Mm-hmm.
Is Max Verstappen racing?
He's going to race.
Is Lewis Hamilton racing?
He's going to race.
One of those three are going to win.
Okay.
I don't hear Sergio Romo or
George Russell's out driving Lewis.
George
Russell's out
and
driving Lewis,
Harry
boys.
Tompkins and old Stonehead Raja. It's one of those three that I said because it's
All
always.
right now. Hey,
Remember last time in Formula One, Cone was like, listen, you got George Russell going off at plus 2,400.
And Checo Perez, and they finished 2 and 3.
But they ain't finished one, Cone.
Max Verstappen.
Formula One,
the
you
kid
know what they
Max.
should call it? They should call it Formula 3.
There is a Formula 3.
Somebody was like, y'all don't talk about NASCAR, but y'all talk about this European race.
Oh, yeah, I need y'all's help with NASCAR. I'll get caught up on NASCAR, but he was throwing a lot of disrespect out at Formula One.
I mean,
He said
I always thought if you liked
I would have to
racing,
get
you
caught
just
back
liked
up.
racing.
I'd have to get called back up at NASCAR and Formula One. I'd really have to dive back into it. Give me a couple weeks.
He called back up.
Called or caught. One of them.
Back up. Last one. Texas Tech land a big 5-star basketball player, Elijah Fisher, who will reclassify and play in this year's 2022 class.
Yeah, look, Texas Tech, again, showing they are a staying power. I love the hire that they made because he was the defensive architect. I believe it's Mark Davis, the defensive architect for what Bearden was doing when he was there, which Bearden's obviously now at Texas. Look, Texas Tech's here to stay. I think they got another transfer the other day that was huge. I know that Matthew Meyer, too, I think has him. The Baylor transfer has him in his list, but I want to say, no, it was McCullough who left Texas Tech to go to Kansas. That's what I was thinking. But no, Texas Tech is here to stay, and I've got one. Real quick.
Got one.
I got one.
On another point for that Texas Tech, we're talking about college basketball.
But I got one, though.
I can't wait for Auburn to disappoint me. Continue.
Yeah, all right. So, apparently, did y'all see this yesterday about Nebraska? They have ended the balloon tradition.
For the helium.
Because there is a global shortage of helium, which means somewhere there is some kid that wants to suck the air out of a balloon after they let him go in Nebraska and make that funny voice, and he can't. How do we have a global helium shortage?
You haven't heard about this?
No.
Why do you think the stock market's down?
We're out of helium.
Would you please, just for a moment, because it's Friday,
is helium with it?
Would you please criticize the helium shortage
at
Lou Holtz?
I will. Yeah, guys.
You have something written down?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I was like, wow, how did you know? Now he's in my head.
So you want me to complain about the helium shortage as Lou Holtz?
As Lou Holtz.
Okay, hold on. Blaine, can you hand me the glasses?
60
Lou Holtz wears
seconds
glasses.
is what I want.
I just need
I handed you glasses.
a pair of glasses. You got the glasses over here?
Here, Coach. Coach.
For Dr. Lou.
Head ball coach.
All right, here we go. I got to get into character. Here. Going Daniel Day-Lewis. Are these real glasses?
Does Coach wear glasses?
Yeah, Lou. Yeah, he wears glasses. Now listen, I want to tell you guys one thing right now. I got a 7-year-old granddaughter, great-granddaughter actually. Never been to University of Notre Dame. She's been to Nebraska one time. Then balloons go up. Eventually they come down. Because what goes up must come down. And all of a sudden, one time you're the head coach of Notre Dame. You're up. Then all of a sudden, you're down here in South Carolina. But that's okay. South Carolina's a great place. I love South Carolina. But there's no helium. How's there no helium? We got the Elon Musk. We got Jeff Bezos over there to watch the Post, writing newspapers, doing little things. We need to send a spaceship to a planet. Planet helium. There's a planet out there, guys. There's a planet out there that's made of just helium. And listen, I'm Coach Lou Holtz. I know helium, I see helium. I suck in helium, I get crazy boys. Send Space Voyager, SpaceX, up to planet helium, get the helium, you bring it back, we go to Nebraska, we all go to Notre Dame pays Nebraska, we open the balloons, we let the balloons go, and my great-granddad has balloons, and that's helium. And that is how you get the head coach of University of Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Always comes back to Notre Dame, doesn't it?
It always goes back to Notre Dame. They can ask him any question. It always goes back to Notre Dame. But it's Friday, and we have Flamin' Dragon over here. And hit the button, Cone, because I just want to hear
This is Flaming Dragon!
All right, Flamin' Dragon, what's the Booch Club saying?
I like this. Daily Hater right here. He says, oh, man, just when Nebraska was about to be relevant again. Well, maybe this will make Nebraska relevant.
Maybe
this is what Nebraska's been missing to make it relevant.
Maybe they could save all the money they took from Scott Frost's contract after this year and the money they'd spend on balloons and buy relevancy.
J Bagwell 2000.
A lot.
Says kids all over the globe are dragging balloons on the ground with a string.
It's crazy.
Looking like Tom Brady's footballs.
It's like the upside down from Stranger Things. How are we out of helium? Is nobody else freaking out? I'm not a scientist, but don't we need helium for things? Like important things? Balloons. And is it
other things?
Other things.
A lot of other things.
It's right. It's on the periodic table. It explains itself. Anything else? We all know it. Everybody knows we know the answer to that.
Chief Wahoo says needs a little more spit, but loves the Lou impression.
Thank you. Oh, I'll cut on the camera.
More spit? We're gonna have to squeegee the camera.
All the spit. Yeah. Goodness. You should see it. I'm over here swimming. I put my floaties on.
Barefoot Cowboy says all love for Coach Lou Holtz.
Thank you.
We love
Coach Holtz.
Coach, we love you.
Can I tell you guys a funny story? Can I tell you guys a funny story real quick?
Right after this comment, you can.
Okay, go ahead.
Control, delete. All right, says, as a Huskers fan who has let go of balloons in Memorial Stadium multiple times, this makes me sad.
It should.
Although we barely score anymore anyways.
That should make you even sadder. But my father played in the Japan Bowl, and Lou Holtz was the coach. And he said the first practice, they're there. Linebackers are lined up. Defense comes up behind them, and Lou Holtz is going to talk. And I guess one of the players that was playing in the Japan Bowl had never heard Lou Holtz talk before. And the minute, 20 seconds after he started talking, the dude just busted out laughing.
Really?
Like, rolling laughing. Like, he thought it was a joke.
Dude, I would too.
He thought he was joking. Imagine if you had never heard Lou Holtz talk, and then you heard him talk as the head coach of Japan Bowl. They said that when they told the dude that, it wasn't a joke, he just went, flush.
Really?
And he had a 30-minute meeting with Lou Holtz or something after. True story. And he said in Japan, they didn't care about scoring touchdowns. He said they didn't care about big hits. All they cared about, because he said they'd watch football games in the bar while they were over there, is when they'd kick the ball off.
That's all he wanted?
He said everybody would just stop and just watch the ball go. He said they thought it was the coolest thing.
That's the least exciting for a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Apparently you're pretty...
Wait.
The Japanese are apparently pretty easily entertained.
So y'all's dad played for Lou Holtz in that game?
Japan Bowl, yeah.
So remember when my father-in-law, Richard Todd, told us his draft story?
Yes.
It was Lou Holtz who called him.
That's right.
Remember?
You told me that.
That's crazy.
That's so dope. This
Wow.
small world.
Look at that.
Small world.
We're just,
I tell you. Can I read my intervention letter to Luka now?
Oh, yeah. You have an intervention letter to Luka Doncic,
What is it?
right? What's the topic? What's the topic here?
Let me get into it, guys.
Okay.
It's an important time. Put these glasses back on. I'm going to read this as a regular Jake, not Lou Holtz Jake. Or Christopher Walken Jake. Yeah. Luka. First, I want to say you're a witch. 100% witch. Your bag's deeper than the Pacific Ocean. And you score more than Matthew McConaughey at a sorority party. But there's one huge adjustment that I think can elevate your game into the stratosphere. You got to get in elite shape. We saw at times, it looked like you were giving no effort. I just think you were tired. It wasn't that you didn't want to get back on defense. It's that you were too tired. You were tie-tie. I don't expect you to run around like Steph Curry or some of these other guards that have more lung capacity than Aquaman. But with your attacking style offensively, I think it would really let you go full Super Saiyan if you got in elite shape. I don't think you'll ever be a great defender or elite defender, but by getting in elite shape, you can at least be a good one. You're an elite defensive rebounder. Now look, I'm not in elite shape yet, but I'm also not an NBA superstar yet. You're going to be one of the greats already, and you're only 23, my guy. But if you get in elite shape, you could be one of the legends.
Well done, sir. Well done. We actually have a clip. Pull up that Luka clip.
We have a clip? Pull up the Luka clip. He was catching Luka.
What I wanted to ask is this him out of shape, or is this just him getting beat by Jordan Poole?
Let me see. Let's run the clip.
Oh, this is him just getting beat by Jordan Poole right here.
Run the clip. I mean, again, Jordan Poole is a lot faster than Luka. Let's see. Oh, he gave him the double move.
He's got beat.
Luka's not going to be able to stay in front
of the guy.
What a stupid foul.
Can't you get a little body on him, though?
I mean, you can, but they're going to call a foul.
It's more about Luka getting back on defense.
I know.
His effort was a question.
Well, I think he was tired.
Let's fix this. We'll talk. Call me. Maybe you look good at the Lakers.
No, it has nothing to do with.
Are you trying to get a workout buddy now?
We'll work out. We'll go get a quick pump in. We'll meet with some guys.
Luka wouldn't want to be friends with you.
We're already friends.
LeBron wouldn't.
He doesn't appreciate you.
He get outshined.
I didn't call him fat. I said he's a little. There's a difference between he's in shape enough to be what he is in the NBA, which is unbelievable offensively. But if he got in elite shape, can you imagine if Luka got in elite shape? And I'm not saying lose 50 pounds. That's all I'm saying. Because, again, we saw David Duvall in golf lose 50 pounds and forget how to hit a golf ball when he was chasing Tiger Woods. I didn't call him fat. Get off the phone with Luka.
Called you fat.
Put the phone down.
Why'd you?
Tell him I didn't call him
I thought you
that.
played good, man.
Tell him I didn't call him that.
Right.
What I'm saying is
I'll tell him.
They were giving him hell on TV because they're saying he wasn't getting back on defense, that he was loafing on defense. I think he was making runs at the rack, getting hit, not the foul weren't getting called. The man's tired. He's had to carry the piano on his back the whole time.
You can get back on D, though, right?
You know what? Yeah, I'll tell you what I'm going to get back on. I'm going to get back on the board.
Also,
on the board.
Speaking about this game with the Warriors knocking out the Mavs, Steph Curry was the MVP, so he's won the inaugural Magic Johnson MVP trophy for the Western Conference.
Added to his trophy case, everybody's slobbering over the Warriors. The Warriors today. The Celtics going to beat them in 6.
Boom.
Hey.
Boom.
What?
Love it.
Papa Link 90 says, I can't believe Jake is body shaming Luka. Right?
You are. I'm not body shaming
disgusting.
anybody. I'm saying he could beat. I'm trying to give him constructive criticism.
Yeah, hey, you're fat.
You're just the worst. I'm going to go over to the board of Blaine sucks at this. Here's what we got.
Actually winning, though.
I know. Stop.
All right. You call me Blaine again. Well, I'm going to try.
Well, you upset me,
try to
Flamin'
bring this
Dragon.
place to the ground.
I'm sorry. Listen, Flamin' Dragon. I got you.
I've
right.
learned how not to get stopped burning this place down now, so I actually have an alternate route.
Well, we got a Squirtle guy here. Thank God.
You gonna be
Me?
serious with him?
What is that? I'm against arson or something because of that?
It's water. Squirtle's water.
I'm against art.
What is that my element? Wait, is Squirtle's element
Water. Yes.
this
really?
type?
Yes.
Okay.
It's element's water. I
Hey,
love
water
it.
I can get
Wow,
down
the
with that.
versatility of this show is
You need
incredible.
you need water to survive.
Speaking about versatility, Draymond Green had you at a double-double last night, plus 375. We got 9 assists with 15 points, halfway to go through the third quarter, and we get the 10th assist, but those clown referees called Draymond for an illegal screen, which was ridiculous, and you cost me. You know what? That's on you guys. That's on y'all, not on me. I didn't lose any sleep, probably because the Canes handle business. You know what? I'm going to get soundboard now. Now it's my soundboard. Now it's my soundboard.
That was his idea.
No, don't. Why would you
idea.
let him do
That
that?
one did hurt, though. That double did hurt.
But you don't say that.
You don't say it. So,
good.
want to give a shout to the Kings. Here's what I got tonight. Blues, money line, plus 145. You're facing elimination. It's the theory that I've been trying to plug the whole time. I got to go with it. I made my bed, now I got to sleep in it. So when you have an elimination game at home and you're a worthy team, like the Blues are, they showed you they fought back against the Avs. What do we dug around a little bit. What do we find? We found confidence. That's what we found. And that's what you need. Come on, Blues, let's go. Need a big game from the goalie. Also, the Heat Celtics over 201. I got to do it. It's 201. I have to do it at minus 110. I would never forgive myself if I didn't do it, which means it's not going to hit. It'll probably be at 2. They'll probably find a way to score 200.5 points. There'll be some sort of flagrant penalty or foul or whatever that gives somebody half a point. Can't wait to see how that goes down. But those are my 2 bets. Just trying to end the month on a good note. We'll see. It's going to come down to the units. I may have to take some chances, but my brother is putting his dancing shoes on. I'm going to let him get to it. But Coney, what are you screaming down to the normal size people?
Mets to the normal size people?
You look good.
Mets first 5.
Dude, Jake's body shape.
Oh my God.
Now he's a heightest.
In one episode.
Mets first 5.
In one
Mets
episode.
first 5, minus a half run at minus 105. The Mets are in this situation where they want to cover one night, then they don't want to cover. You know, I think last time they didn't cover, so now let's flip back over and let's cover this one, and then I'm never touching you again, okay? And then you said you have a theory, right, with the Blues are going to hit and all that? Well, I woke up this morning and it was what? It was Flaming Dragon Friday.
Yep.
So there was only one thing I had to choose, and that was violence. So not only am I going to take the Avalanche, I'm going to take the Avalanche to win by 1 and only 1, excluding overtime, going off at plus 550. We want to talk about a units jump. Come on, Avs, let's win by a goal.
What do you got, Blaine?
What are you doing to replacement code?
Yeah, what's going on? Are you... Don't.
I'm going to see how many comments were in the chat. Y'all thought I was playing around. I'm blindfolding him as we speak.
Flaming Dragon Friday, so I don't take the easy way out.
Okay.
So this is what I'm taking. First, I like your Mets pick.
You like that?
Kid on the mound's pretty solid.
You taking them too?
I'm going minus 1.5 Nets for the game.
Mets?
Mets.
For the
I say
full
Mets.
game.
Yeah, Mets.
Full
Plus 130. Feel good about it. Let's win this game against the Phillies. And then I woke up this morning and there was just signals all around my room. I was seeing.
I think they call that
numbers.
schizophrenia.
I was seeing numbers, and they just came together, and it was 3 against 3. So I thought in my head what that meant. Then I figured it out.
Came to me.
The Avalanche and the Blues today are going to tie 3-3 in regulation. It's going to be 3-3, and they're going to go to overtime. So this is what I'm going to take. I'm going to take the tie plus over 5.5 points for regulation.
Wow.
Wait, so what has to happen for you to hit your pick?
They have to
be
tie
tied,
and
but it could be
score
1-1 at the end of regulation.
Now with
can't.
Blues, I'm taking the over.
Yeah, they've got to be.
Oh, I see what you're
It's got to be 3-3 or another tie or 4-4 or something like that. It can't be 2-2.
The minimum tie it can be is 3-3
Yep.
for you to hit.
Which
You
means
have
it
to hit
hits.
the
It's
other
going to
half
be
of
going to 3-2 in the final period. Avs are going to be up.
And
So
what-
the over 5.5 is in regulation.
It's in regulation.
Ooh, and what are the odds on that one?
Plus 600.
Woo!
Wow, we
Flaming
got a
Dragon
5
Friday,
and a 600 tonight.
Hey, you got to hit it. It's Flaming Dragon Friday. You're taking those type of bets. You get
I woke up, and these people started bringing me their palms.
All right.
Like, yes, here, 3v3.
What's your other bet? Did you say your other bet?
bets? Minus 1.5, plus 130. We got a nice arm in the mountain. Don't believe in the Phillies. It's a great day to get the sticks hot.
Oh, you sound like an auctioneer. But we got the Mets.
I was actually an auctioneer for like 2 years.
All right, Baby Cone.
No.
Actually lost a bet yesterday. I can't believe it.
16-7. Who cares?
Yeah, he's 19-7 overall.
Yeah.
I mean, good Lord. So I'm not going to sit in my chair. I want you to go to the camera that looks at my chair, and I want you to show the chat this. And I want them to see what's going to happen if they don't do what I say. I'm not sitting down again, Cone.
Okay.
I'm not.
What are you doing?
I'm going to read it from here. Got to give a shout out, new Hall of Famer, our boy Jessup, a.k.a. the Pokester,
He
a.k.a. JMPB _ the only one is 8-0. We're going to have more Hall of Famers than NFL by the time we get to football
And
season.
he's taking the Avs money line as well.
Yep, going minus 175. Okay. I can't believe that's it. I still cannot believe the Blues are plus 145 money line at home in elimination.
Well, yeah, I think the Avs
it really worries me. It really worries me. All right, Revco 250 is 3-0. He wants the Padres minus 1.5. That's plus 110. Tall Riot, he's on his way, 6-0. Wants the Cleveland baseball team money line, which is the entire game, obviously, minus 165. Trevor Robinson is 4-0, wants the Mariners over 4 runs in the first 5. That is an O, isn't it correct, or is that a U, Cone?
That is a U.
Oh, so
Mariners
it's under 4 runs for the first 5. I love it. Nolan McDaniel, welcome to the team. Wants Texas A&M money line, the SEC tournament baseball. It's been a hell of a tournament so far. The Livest Son, welcome to the Booster Club. My friend wants the Astros minus -0.5 run, first 5, minus 130. Our buddy NCAAF Nation 247. You'll be seeing a lot of interaction between us and him on Twitter, especially during college football season. Wants the Jays money line. Bold Lion, brand new Booster Club member. Wants Blues Avs under 6.5. Bucky Badger Betts, also a new Booster Club member. We're growing like a weed, man. Like a weed. Getting closer to football season. Cone wants Charles Leclerc will win and finish the Monaco Cup. I want to see the odds on that. And then Private Chonky, 1-0, Avs money line minus 175. He barely avoided the Hall of Shame. He almost went 0-8. He was from 0-7. He looked at the devil, laughed, and then went back. I'm going to come sit right here. I'm going to put replacement Cone in front of me. He can't see anything due to you guys. What's the Booster Club say about it?
Okay, 2 things. 1, do y'all want to guess this poll I put out?
Yes.
What is it?
I gotta. This is what the question
I
was.
love how Blaine
Don't look.
I'm not looking at it, but by you blocking that, it does
man.
nothing because I can see it on the big
Was this
TV, but
a
I'm not looking.
smart move from Coach Kelly? Was this a smart thing to say?
I will say, Blaine, I can't read it even from here. I would say no, 57%.
Well, then
I swear to
will
God, I swear I
say-
didn't look.
Well, then I will say no at 50.
Stop telling him it's erroneous.
Oh,
I caught him.
No,
I caught him.
55%.
No,
David,
no,
you did it.
No,
That's my fault. I forgot this thing goes up in the TV.
It's erroneous. Blaine's blocking the laptop.
I was like, what are you waving at me for?
Yeah, Blaine was blocking that while it's over
All
there.
right, second thing. All right, this kind of got brought up earlier in the chat, and a lot of people are talking about it. We want to get,
Does anybody care about replacement Cone?
they're saying don't touch him. You quit touching him. Like,
Oh, I'm gonna touch him.
how tall is Jake actually?
Me?
Yeah, people were wondering.
I'm 6'1.5".
Okay, so Angela G says 5'9".
No.
Samson
What?
Seven Smile says 5'11".
What?
Sasha says an inch taller than his brother.
Yes.
You're not telling me. Jay Bagwell 2000 says 4'11".
Okay, man. I'm not Peter Dinklage, man. Why are y'all doing this to me? I didn't body
It's
shame
Wit Hack
anybody.
92 says at least 20 bags of jelly beans high. 5'11", 4'11", 5'2",
Why is there so many
5'7", 5'10".
4'11s there? What do you think? I work at the North Pole? Like, it's ridiculous. I said Luka needed to get in elite shape. That's all I said. That's all I said. And then I complimented Cone on being tall.
Okay, who wins the Champs Final League? Barefoot Cowboy.
Who wins the
Champs Final League?
The what?
The Champs Final League.
What is that?
Guessing it's soccer?
The Champions League? Is he talking about
It says Champs Final League. Probably
Yes.
Champions.
The team that's in first, obviously.
What is it? Is it Real Madrid, I think? Versus?
look, to me, it's Real till it's not.
Okay, who are they playing? Liverpool?
I'm guessing it's
Liverpool.
Man U, Liverpool, Real, the same characters. I need to look. I've been diving into this hockey thing a little bit new. I need to get back on my EPL and my soccer in general, but it's going to be one of those four. What else, Blaine?
Jay Bagwell calls you a heightist.
I'm not a heightist.
Yeah.
You're a heightist
It's
for
a rough
calling me a
life,
heightist.
man.
Yeah. Body shamer and a
Shut
heightist.
up.
There's heightist everywhere. You can't even get on an elevator without finding one these days.
Kurt comment says you just have an elfish look about you.
What? Let me see you, dog.
Jay Bryan says if you say your feet and then half, it shows insecurity.
I think it shows what the tape measure says when it. What do you think? Everybody's
real deal.
Everybody's like an even round number. Like, oh, everybody's like 5'9".
That's somebody who's been to a combine. That's somebody,
Yeah.
Do we have time?
To
No, we don't. Okay.
What?
Andy Valid wants to do, will the Bears win over or under 4.5 games?
We'll do that next week.
Okay, I'll put it on the list.
We got plenty of Chicago Bears, I'm guessing. Not Mercer. They're going to lose the first one probably. Actually, no, in Auburn, we'll beat Mercer. We'll get an onside
Chicago
kick
Bears
by a field goal.
over or under 4.5 games. We'll do it next week.
Sounds good. All right. Parting thoughts. Anything as we go into Memorial Day weekend.
God, that's a show, fellas.
Hey, have a
show.
great weekend. We really appreciate y'all watching us.
Definitely.
Subscribe, like the channel.
Please.
Make sure you have a great weekend and a great Memorial Day.
Yes.
You guys, do you know how many comments are up for the chat? We're going to see, buddy.
I mean, can we fix
We're
that?
gonna see.
Jake,
Fix what? What'd I do?
843,
Wow.
they said.
I don't know. I may let him live with that. He hadn't been able to see for the whole show. But here's what I will say. Make sure you're subscribed on everything. Enjoy Memorial Day weekend. Thank you for your service. If you
Thank
served,
you.
everybody who gave their life to be able to let us do this, we
Thank
need to
you.
make sure everybody shows you guys appreciation more. We need to make sure also that we take care of our police and everybody that serves us out there to make this a better place. All right. Next Monday, we got a head-to-head that may actually shock you with what the topic is, even though we did get a really good suggestion for head-to-head today. Make sure you send your questions into the mailbag. That's CW Crane mailbag at dailywire.com. Until next week, you enjoy your Memorial Day. And like this week, we're gone.